Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Right, I'm sorry if there's a big change in quality or something like that. Basically, where I've been for the past 2 days is trying to find a way around a new issue I've got. So, number one, I'm very limited on time recently, but it's just hit the weekend, so hopefully I have more time now. Number two, so, my microphone, which it's a blue snowball, so it was quite a lot. It's decided to conk out on me out of nowhere. So, I no longer have a working microphone, which is it's it's not very good, which leaves me in the predicament which I am. So I'm recording this on my iPad, so I apologize in advance if anything's a bit dodgy. Anyway, what if Deku was the god of destruction and creation at the same time? So this is a pretty how do I say this, cliche-ish topic. So if someone's done this before, please do put it down in the comments, and I'll do something about it. I don't know. I'll do nothing. I don't really know where to go here. But anyway, so it begins with, of course, Deku. So I've decided to switch it up a bit, because Deku is no longer getting one for all. He is no longer gonna get one for all. So, it is in the future. Shigaraki and All for One has passed away, so it's quite far in the future, and Shigaraki is older, but Deku is now about 5 or 6 years old. The whole of Japan is taken over, so Deku is now a refugee, and he has gone to Island, who's decided to come over and help after the death of All Might, which was when Shigaraki disintegrated him away, and All Might was defenseless because All Might was Small Might permanently due to the fight. He tried to go into his All Might form, but the enders of One for All have disappeared. You may ask, who did One for All go to? It was Mirio, but Mirio lost his quirk fighting Overhaul, but he did defeat Overhaul. So Overhaul didn't take over. Instead, it was Shigaraki. On top of that, there was an incident on this random island out of nowhere where it was completely destroyed. So now there's infighting within Japan, and that's between Shigaraki and Nine. Shigaraki is arguably more powerful, but Nine doesn't know that yet, thinking he's all powerful with 9 different quirks and not knowing the true Shigaraki One for All. So, One for All? No, Shigaraki All for One. So the world has gone to complete destruction. That is why Deku is on Island. So anyway, Deku's on Island, and he's a bit angry about the whole situation, because he's like, I'm gonna become a hero and take back control of Japan. Wait, can you see notifications in this? Let me just cut off one second. So Deku is a little bit annoyed, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take back Japan." He's angry about his home country being taken away from him. So anyway, this basically made the gods think about Deku, because they had a look at all the other timelines of Deku, because they are gods, and that's when they realised he's got the heart of a hero. This isn't vengeance, this is justice. So the gods, of course, give him powers to Deku, because they can, usually gods can't intervene, but in this case, in this reality, gods have a lot more control than before. B, they can give something called blessings to humans, which gives them powers. And C, the balance of the universe has been pushed over by Shigaraki being too evil, so Deku has to be the new symbol of hope. Of course, this means Deku gets the God of Destruction and Creation quirk, or in this case, it's a blessing. The difference between a blessing and a quirk is a quirk can be taken away. So now it's time to fill in the plot hole. Why don't other heroes go? Well, A, Shigaraki is on a whole nother level. B, there's a new business that works in only Japan. The bullets don't leave the area because Japan's basically been locked down from the earth by China. So China, I think right? Tell me if I'm wrong with this. I'm not the most geologic person ever, but geology, no, geography, geographic person ever. But China's right next to Japan. China's a powerful country, so they're basically keeping Japan to itself and threaten bombing and everything. So basically, nuclear. Japan is like its own country now. It's separated from the rest of the universe, and they have these things going around called quirk bullets that if you get shot by one, you lose your quirk. That's what makes a blessing different to a quirk. Apart from that, pretty normal, other than the fact a blessing gets powerful the further in he gets, because the more used to the blessing he gets. As a quirk, it's more like a muscle. As a blessing's like a shared power that he gets from the gods. But the gods can't take it away once he's blessed him or do anything with it. They can just only bless him. So the gods decided that if they really need to do this, and to do this they have to get the two strongest gods, which is the god of creation and the god of destruction. So what they did is they worked together this time, which is rare because they're usually anti-opposites, but they realise that the earth itself has lost balance and the god of destruction has too much power, which would be like, oh, wouldn't that be a bad thing? Well, the god of destruction needs it to be balanced, otherwise his powers will go all squiffy for himself. Of course, blessing people is a whole different thing, but either way, so the god of destruction and the god of creation work together to give Deku powers. Anyway, so cutting back to Deku. Deku is, of course, working with Melissa. If you're wondering, I've basically de-aged Melissa to be the same age as Deku is currently now, as the rest of UA are older. So basically everything went normal, other than Melissa is a little bit younger. So it matches with Deku's age at the moment, and UA is currently unknown. People suspect that they're dead due to them not being able to get out. The only reason Deku could get out is because UA and all the other heroes risked their life to get everybody out of the Japan before it lost control. And the people who were in there when they lost control, if they wasn't a villain or powerful, they were dead, which is quite a lot. So Uraka is dead in this timeline, for now anyway. Todoroki is unknown, Bakugo is unknown, everyone like that is unknown. So they're not dead, they're not alive. By the way, that clap really hurt because I've hurt my hands. But anyway, let's get back to the story. So Deku, he's around. We'll go 9 years old. And he's out one day, and that's when him and Melissa, they're having some fun. They're hanging around. They're going to the places at just around Island, because they've been working really hard that last weekend. That last week, sorry. You may be like, oh, well, they're kind of slacking off for people that want to take over. By working really hard, I mean they've been getting, 5-6 hours sleep maximum. They've been on the absolute grind the whole week. And right now, where a 9-year-old should be, they're more around 15, 16-year-old when it comes to their studies. And they're starting to make their own items. And they're basically, them two together are going to be revolutionary. But it's more focusing on Melissa's abilities, as Deku is, he's more basic. But he's a good tester due to his over average physical ability, because at a young age he's realized that, oh, I can get strong as Melissa can give me the equipment and we can go and save Japan. Of course, Melissa isn't as dead set on saving Japan as Deku, because Melissa's been brought up in Island, but he still wants to save Japan in All Might, in honor of her uncle All Might, and Deku's of course an All Might fanboy. So by the way, this is getting very convoluted, is that the word? Confusing. This is getting very confusing, I guess you could say. So anyway, Deku and Melissa, they're going around having fun. They went to the cinema, they got some food, and then just about before they were going to go home, it was around 5-ish. They went to the one part of Island no one else knew about that was very private, and it was nice to watch the whole city from high up. I know it's an island, but I called it a city, so sorry about that. But they watched the whole city from a private place together. They are friends. Just want to clarify that for now, anyway. They're friends for now. So anyway, that's when Deku gets struck by lightning, but which shocks Melissa, and Melissa's like, huh? Deku, you okay? Whoa, what? And then, of course, Deku got struck by lightning, and he's unconscious for a whole week. A whole week of the studies is missed for Melissa, as she's by Deku's bedside almost the entire time, absolutely worried for him. She's trying to find out how the lightning struck so randomly. There wasn't a thunderstorm, and she also remembers the incident faintly, with the lightning being more defined colours than a normal lightning bolt would be, which confuses her, because it was a bit like a red-ish colour instead of the normal lightning bolt colour, which confused her, and also she thinks Deku's dead at the minute, so she's really just anxiety about the whole situation. Then Deku wakes up as she's asleep by his bed end, and Deku's like, whoa, what happened? I remember, I don't remember where I was. I was like on the roof with Melissa. She okay? Then he suddenly jerks awake and realizes she's okay. He then decides to relax and falls asleep straight away, being exhausted from, well, he doesn't know, well, I'll explain what he's exhausted from. So, anyway, the doctors realise he's asleep and wake up Melissa, and Melissa wakes up Deku, and then they all find out basically about him. Bear in mind, this is like high standard hospital due to it being Island, and a dad run the place and got him into the top hospital place. If you're wondering about Deku's parents, they were pro heroes, and they died in the fight to save Deku, basically. But this Deku was too young to remember, as Deku was 2-3 years old when his thingy midget got taken over. So he just thought he basically didn't have parents. He never really thought it, but he knew secretly that his parents were, well, not there or dead or something. He knew that, but he never really put thought to it because he doesn't remember the incident at all, which is good for him. But anyway, he wakes up and the doctors start doing some tests, and that's when they find some peculiar out. Basically, what Deku's cells have done, they've been completely fried to a crisp and rewritten themselves as stronger cellular things. So they're like, with this new cellular structure, you could probably survive, I don't know, a knife. That's when Deku's like, wait, what do you mean survive a knife? And then the doctor explains, well, if I stab you with a knife, it might hurt, but it wouldn't cut into you. So Deku is like, wait, are you sure? And the doctor's like, no, but it might be a quirk or something. So Deku's like, okay, I'll take one for the team. So the doctor actually refuses this, and Deku's like, oh, okay, so that is the end it there. Then they find out that Deku's body might actually have a quirk, which is this. So they issue him out by orders of Melissa's dad, but they keep on doing research on his blood and his body that they got when he was unconscious. He was in not quite a coma, sorry, he was just unconscious. I don't know whether I said coma earlier. So anyway, Deku wakes up, and of course, he tells Melissa that, okay, I've just got out the hospital, I want to go test out this new quirk I might have. Melissa's like, Deku, you've just got out from being injured, I'm not gonna let you go stab yourself in the hand or whatever you do. And Deku's like, you know I have to, right? So Melissa's like, okay, at least let me make it safe. So what Melissa designs is something that is a machine that basically pricks him, but it's only a prick to see how much pressure the prick could be, and then she uses maths to add this up into a knife, basically. So what she's doing, she's only pricking him to see whether he can resist against a prick. So the prick starts off with a normal jab. The end of the jab breaks. By jab, I mean vaccine injection, yeah? So then she decides to make it stronger until it does get up to the strength of a knife. It just breaks, and then she's like, oh my god, it is true, Deku, you have a quirk. You finally have a quirk. And Deku and Melissa both really excited, because Deku's always wanted a quirk, because he is still an All Might fanboy, so he still wants to be like the man, the myth, the legend All Might, but due to him believing himself to be quirkless, he thought himself was quirkless. Sorry, I just had a drink. It was very refreshing. So anyway, Deku decides to train a bit. So this time he asks Melissa's dad whether he could get a separate training room to test his quirk. And Melissa also begs her dad too. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. So anyway, Melissa begs her dad, Deku begs her dad, and they get their own training room. So what Deku does, he sees whether his strength has improved. So he just punches a punching machine, basically, and they realise that his strength has probably increased tenfold, which is good because he was already like a physically fit lad. Now he's even stronger. So he's like, I wonder what else I could do. So he's like, maybe I could jump really high if I put full power into it. So he does that, and he jumps about 10 times higher than he does. Then he realises he's got to land, so that's when Melissa puts out one of those launchy airbags she's invented herself. So this is a chance to test Melissa's inventions. Then she's like, hey Deku, put this on. And what it does, it basically monitors his heart rate and everything, and tries to basically read whether the quirk has any other properties. So, like Bakugo's sweat drips and explodes, it's not just explosions. Or the girl that pulls water from the moisture in the air. A bit like that. She's reading to see whether that's anything else. And that's when she realises the strength is virtually coming from nowhere. It's very confusing, and they think the lightning bolt has something to do with that. So, anyway, oh my god, sorry for saying so much. So anyway, oh my god. Anyway, I'm not doing very well. Anyway, Deku then is like, I wonder whether I have any other powers. That's when he kind of feels a body strain and ends up knocking himself out. This is not from overuse of his quirk, it's from the gods basically realising he's awake and knocking him out. So he feels body strain and he knocks out. When he wakes up, there's two misty figures. One is filled with flowers in the background and trees and everything, as one's crippling sand desertification, everything just destroyed. And they're both against each other, and basically Deku's realised that they're not quite against each other, but they don't like each other. But they're mystical figures, and that's all he can really sense within this aura he's getting from them. So anyway, the god of creation, the god on the light side, basically says, the god on the rainbow fluffy unicorn side basically says, Deku, we've granted you blessings. The destruction guy says, blessings are similar to quirks, but they're stronger. Then it goes back to creation, who then finishes off the destruction sentences by saying, so do you want to learn how to use these blessings? And then the god of destruction just tells the god of creation, of course he does. So anyway, they explain what Deku can do with his powers so far before they get strengthened up from the amount of use he gets and the amount of good in the world he does. The stronger, the more of a hero, the more godly he becomes, the stronger he gets, basically. So the more symbol of peace, the more closer he comes to being a good hero and a good person, the stronger he gets, if that makes sense. So if he took over, if he saved Japan, he would basically become a full-blown god, because that's saving like an entire country. Or if he saved the world even, he would probably get 100% of his powers. But anyway, what he can do so far is with the creation quirk, he can create light. So you're probably wondering, what could he do with light? Well, he can turn himself into light itself. Sure, he has to travel in a straight line, but that means he can travel at the speed of light. The drawback of it is this power takes a lot of energy, and it's only really useful for travelling, as where the god of destruction, due to his power being destruction, Deku can create and manipulate fire to a huge degree. Like, let's say there was a meteor. He could control all the flames from the meteor heating up. Yeah. And he could also remove its, like, basically all the friction flames that have been built up from that. He can collect all that fire and launch, well, it's really powerful, and he can also manipulate fire, so he can completely destroy it if someone threw a fireball at him, or he could make that fireball bigger as well. So he has complete manipulation over fire, and and if he puts enough energy into it, he can turn that fire into lava, by using partly god of creation powers and creating magma, which then outside turns into lava. So basically, to summarize, he can use fire with a lot of focus, lava, and he can turn himself into light. And another thing he can do with the creation quirk is mild healing on other people. So, like, let's say if someone got stabbed, he would be able to heal the wound, presuming it wasn't a deep cut. Or let's say if someone fell over and cut their knee like I have done, he will be able to heal it. So anyway, the gods are like, right, now, Deku, you're gonna have to use this quirk, and you're gonna have to get Melissa to help you. And then they're like, you know about Melissa? We're gods, of course we know about Melissa. Anyway, keep up the good work, and please help us save Japan, and balance the world of peace and tranquility. Anyway, so Deku wakes up, and Melissa is like really confused and worried, and she's like, let's go to the hospital. Why are you fainting? That's not normal. And Deku's like, I'm fine. So Melissa finally gives up and basically just Deku finally gives up and goes to the hospital. They go to see why he fainted, and they realised it was just because of some normal, like his body was going into shock after healing or something like that. There wasn't a true explanation to it, as I was a bit confused, and they thought maybe it could be linked to his quirk. So, anyway, Deku gets out of the hospital, and they go back to the training grounds to test out the powers. This is where I'm going to leave it for this episode, because I feel like I've gone long enough with this really, really bad setup, and I don't know how I'm going to edit 2 videos together. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you're new. You're an absolute fantastic audience, and have a nice day.